Hi guys, thanks for joining me on episode 5 of Crafting Therapy. With the coronavirus having a lot of us at home more often than we usually are, it's a great time to have access to YouTube and a good time to do some more crafting. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made these wood and leather earrings, and I hope you'll stay around for that. If there's anything in the video that you like, it inspires you, or you just enjoy watching it, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section. And if you'd like to see what I'll be working on in the future, hit that subscribe button. Then if you tap the bell, YouTube should notify you when I upload new content. Now, on with the project. Let's go ahead and start the design of these earrings. I'll click on New Project. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on Shapes, select the circle. My larger circle is 2 1/4 inches to the outside, so let's go ahead and make this larger circle 2.25. Then I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that. Then I'm going to make this one 1.75. Then I'll go ahead and change it a different color just so I can see where it is. All I want to do is I want to select both circles, click on Align, and then I want it centered both vertically and horizontally, so I'll just click on this center right here. Now the next step, they're still both highlighted over here on the right, so I have both layers selected, and I'll click Slice. Then I can get rid of the red, and then I can get rid of both layers. Now I have my slice result left, and that's my larger earring. So the width of the outside, since I made the circle 1/2 inch smaller, it should be 1/4 inch smaller. It should be 1/4 inch from this point to this point, approximately all the way around. So there's my first shape. Let me go ahead and duplicate that. I want to change the diameter of this one to 1.4. And that will be my inside piece of wood. And they'll hang kind of, whoops, they'll hang kind of like that. Let's go ahead and align these just for purposes of looking at it. Center vertically. That's not what I wanted. Center horizontally, and I'll go ahead and move it. Let's just pick the inside shape. Go ahead and move that up. And they'll hang pretty much like that. I also want a piece of leather, and the leather is going to go around this area up to a fishhook. So I'll click circle again. I don't know what color I'm going to use for the leather yet, but let's see. Let's just go with purple for now. It's not going to be purple. I'm pretty sure of that. Let's go with white. Okay, so I want this to be an oval, which a lot of programs call ellipse. And that is probably a little taller than I want it. Let me look at something though. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lock this. What I want to do is put this where the fold would be over this top earring. I think that's a little too wide. So let me unlock it, make it a little bit narrower. And I think I'll go ahead and just make it 0.6. Right now it's 0.722. Okay. Now the other thing is I can tell this is the center of the oval. And that's about where it would be once you fold this bottom half up along the back side of the wood. And this is a little more up here than what I wanted exposed. So let me try 1.5 in height. Okay, so if I move this down, I have that much to work with. I think that'll be fine. So here's the size I'm going to go with for my leather. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit narrower. Let's try 0.5. Okay, it's my final answer. Okay, so I'll go ahead and lock that back. This is everything I need for the entire earring as far as materials go. I want to go ahead and duplicate. And here we go. If you are using your Cricut Maker to cut out the wood, then you would click Make It. Let's go to the other layer. Click Continue. We'll browse the materials. Let's look for just the word wood. Okay, so it depends on what you're using, but you can see by this little Cricut symbol over here, this is a Cricut product, and then this is a Cricut product. If you have either of those on hand, I would use those since Cricut has tested them. I don't have either of those, and so I'm using some wood rings that were cut by a laser cutter. You could either cut out wood rings, you could use metal rings if you have those on hand. You could even use little washers. Like I have some silver washers and I have some brass washers, and those would be really cute too. When I turn the camera around, I'll show you the washers I'm talking about. Okay, so if I were using the Cricut wood, then I'd click on that and I'd click Done, and then it would tell me, let's see, it would request to see if I wanted to calibrate my knife blade. I'm just going to say no, and then it would tell me to move all my star wheels over and make sure I have my knife blade in. I really wish I had some Cricut product here at home, but since we're stuck at home with the coronavirus, I don't. So I'll go with what I have. Now I'm going to cancel that cut, and then I'll go back to my other cut. I'm going to move them down so they cut 1 inch down and 1 inch over, and click Continue. I'm going to use leather. You could use leather, you could use fabric, you could use faux leather, whatever you want to use. But I'm going to go with genuine leather. Click Done. Alright, so now it wants me to have my deep point blade in and my star wheels all the way to the right. So I'll go ahead and turn the camera around and we'll keep working. We have a ton of stain at our house because we've done a lot of wood projects, but I wanted to stick with the smaller cans, and so in that I have this Briar Smoke by Varathane, and then I have 3 Minwax colors: Classic Gray, Weathered Oak, and Dark Walnut. So I don't know yet what colors I want to use on my earrings, and so the first thing I'm going to do is just put the colors on these little popsicle sticks. The other thing I wanted to let you know that I did just lightly sand the tops and the bottoms of each of these pieces of wood. So I'm just going to open these and then dip my popsicle stick inside and then choose my colors from that. I don't know. I kind of think, I planned on doing two-toned, but I think I might do all briar smoke. That's my final decision. I might get by with one coat. It might take two coats. I'll just have to see. Now, I don't want to ruin a brush. These are oily, and so you'd have to use mineral spirits or something to wash your brush out. For these small things, I'm just going to try to get by with using a paper towel. Now this Varathane, it says premium fast dry wood stain. I don't want to tip it up. It says it dries, or it says complete projects 3 times faster, and then it says you get 75% more coverage, and it says it achieves the color in 1 coat and dries in an hour. I can see some little bubbles in it, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that up and get those wiped out. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and let those dry. I'll probably pull out a heat gun or a blow dryer or something, an embossing heat tool, something to get that to dry faster. All I did after I painted on the stain was I went and washed my hands, and then I came back and found my little drying tool. It's an embossing, the Heidi Swapp embossing heat gun. And it did each earring for maybe 20 seconds a couple of times, so maybe a total of 40 seconds, something like that. And then they were dry to the touch. So it didn't take too long at all. Well, the backs don't look so good. I should have been a little more careful. Let's see what happens. Let me look and see if that seeped to the other side. No, that looks good. Excellent. I think those are going to be cute. So I'm going to go ahead and get the mess cleaned up, set those aside so we can work on the leather. I've decided to go with a crisp white leather. I think that'll look pretty. I think gray and white are very pretty together. But I wanted to show you, this is just a little baggie of common washers. Like you can buy a ton of these at Home Depot or online for next to nothing. This is one that I started. I was going to do one earring with my niece-in-law's first child's name, and then her other earring with her second child's name, and then I found out she was having a third child. So I'm gonna have to do something different. Maybe I'll make a necklace where it has all 3 kids' names on it, but this would be really cute as an earring. You could have a really small piece of leather coming up, or you could do wire or something like that. But that's a good option for jewelry as well. You could even do your hoops out of leather or faux leather, and then the piece that we're getting ready to cut out of this, the piece that holds it together, you could do that out of fabric. Just use your imagination and the things that you have on hand. Now I have this little scrap of contact paper. It's just transparent contact paper. Doesn't need to be transparent. It's going under the leather, so if you have white transparent, if you have white contact paper, transparent, or any color, it really doesn't matter. This is just going to be to protect my mat. So I went down an inch, and I went over an inch, so I'll have that on that. Okay, then I have a little piece of leather cut off. When I'm cutting leather, I like to tape around it because with using the deep point blade, it's really putting a lot of pressure in a sideways motion, and so you can shove this leather around fairly easily. And the tape I'm using, it's just a super hold Scotch tape. A couple things. I need to move this star wheel over. It probably wouldn't have been in the way since I moved my cut over by an inch. And then I also need to put in my deep point blade. I always press it out and clean it off just in case there's something on it from the last time I used it. Let's check out this cut. Beautiful. Okay, so the contact paper stayed stuck to this one, but the other one it did not. So just make sure to peel that off if it stays stuck. I'm going to clean this leather up just a little bit. You can see that just a little bit of fraying occurred with these. So let me take care of that. I just, from the back side, angle my scissors so that they won't go through the front side and just trim those little frays off. When I'm using dark leather, I actually just use a lighter and I burn off the frays, but I don't do that with light colored leather. Also, this works best if you have a really nice pair of scissors. I did not have a nice pair until right before Christmas, and I took advantage of the Christmas sales going on and got those for, I think it was half price. I don't know if this is a necessary step, but I am going to use a little bit of glue on these, and I convinced myself a while back that I needed a really cute glue gun. Like my old ones wouldn't work well. So let me pick the best side. I think I'll go with that side, and this has the little bit of burn marks on the back, so I'll go with this side. And I'm making sure that my grain is going side to side so they look the same. That probably doesn't matter, but that's what I'm going to do. I don't know that this is a necessary step, but I'm going to do it. I want to put just a little bit of hot glue where these two are going to meet up. Okay, my glue gun's ready. So I'm just going to put a little bit at the very top. And then you don't have to worry if a little bit of this gets on the top of the earring because this is going to be covered by the leather anyway. And then, so I'll hold it down and just shove my lower earring up against it. And then it's stuck to the paper, so let me go ahead and get that off. All right, let's see. We're going to use wax paper. So some of you probably saw that mistake coming, and if you're like me, you're yelling into the iPad or computer. Don't do that. But I did. So, all right, we're going to do this over, and on the other earring, put a little glue at the top, and then shove your other earring up against it. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and let that cool down in place. And then I'll be able to peel it off the wax paper, hopefully. Well, let me get this other piece off. Hopefully this will still stick. The stain is kind of an oily thing, so hopefully the glue will still work. While that's setting up, I'm going to go ahead and punch the holes. I use the 5/64 size hole. If you have your machine cut them, that's similar to about a 0.08 inch circle. I'll get those lined up, and I apologize for how terrible my nails look. They have stain on them, and I'm washing my hands so frequently that they're really dry. Okay, so go ahead and punch that through. Same thing on this piece of leather. Okay, let me get it closer so you can see that. I have my punch laid down where I think I want it, and just taking a really close look at it. And then I'll go ahead and press, and there's your holes. When you press two, or when you punch two at the same time, the hole that is closest to this is going to be a little bit bigger because this is tapered. So if you want the smaller hole in the front, just turn it like that. That's probably what I will do. I'm going to go ahead and put the hardware on. I may not zoom in very close because my nails look horrible. Let me clean this up just a little bit more. And you've seen probably a bajillion videos of people putting the hardware on. If you haven't, most of my videos where I'm doing earrings show you how to do it. So check out one of those. I'll still walk you through it, but I'm not going to get real close like I usually do. I have my needle nose pliers, so I'm just going to hold on to this part of the earring, and I'm going to twist. Now I want this smaller hole in the front. Okay, let's see how this works out. All right. Well, I'll redo that one. Hopefully this one stays together. There we go. I can see I have a little bit on top, but again, that is not going to show. Okay, so I want that to be the front because the back side has those burn marks on it. Okay, hold on. Let me quit talking at the same time I'm trying to think. Okay, so we're going to do this, and hopefully I made this large enough. Okay, I need to do it differently. So I'll just put this around both pieces first. Then this is my front, so I'll need to approach it from back here, get through both layers of the leather. Hardest part is keeping this little ball thing out of your way when you're trying to work. Get my smaller pair of needle nose pliers. Just grab it and then twist it right back into place. And then I'm going to go ahead and squeeze it gently to close it in just a little bit more. There we go. And then pull everything back down. There we go. Those are cute. Very, very cute. Finally, success. Okay, those are pretty cute. Look at those. I'd call that a success. They might be a little big. Okay, guys, until next time, stay safe. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.